Today is January 16th, and our video today is a mixed bag. That juniper tree that I cut down from that property that everything got cut up, well, it went to the wood chipper, and I decided to take that one tree and see, even though it had gouges in it, if I could take it down and make maybe a back bow out of it. And it was 68 inches long, and you'll see how that turns out in the video. Then I came out in the back with that beautiful 45-pound juniper bow I made. And just quick, I showed you quickly how I look down the arrow. It's a technique for shooting close range, pretty accurate. It's great for small game, for rabbits, close targets. I imagine even aerial targets at 10 and 15. You know, I look down the arrow by putting my hand on top of my cheek, and I imagine it'd be a little difficult if you wore glasses. Okay, then we're going to go to my friend's property and we're going to take a walk around. I'm going to bring my bow with a judo head just in case we see any rabbits. And there's this patch of eastern red-seeded juniper there. And we're going to walk around and look at some of the trees and try to show you how I pick a tree that will make a stave that'll possibly make a bow blank. Okay. After that, we're going to take that juniper bow and we're going to use tung oil, and we're going to put tung oil on it. I put tung oil on a paper towel and I wipe down that bow, and I let the bow drink up all the tung oil it wants. Not excess, you know, because I have a paper towel, I'll just wipe it, and if it drinks it up, it drinks it up. If it don't, it don't. Then I hang it up and I'm going to let it dry for 24 hours between coats. So once a day for a couple of days, I'll put coats of tung oil on it. And enjoy the video. It's kind of a mixed video today. Good morning. It's January 16th. And 9 days ago, on the January 7th, this tree was cut down, this juniper tree. And I cut it up into a piece of lumber. And I picked it up today, and it's a lot lighter than it was. But we're going to check the moisture. %, 12.6, 15%. And what I'm going to do today is, this is going to have to be backed, I'm sure, with all the knots and where everything's aligned. But we're going to use a cabinet scraper, and I'm going to have a center mark, and I'm going to measure and find the center cross piece, and I'm going to start working from the middle where the riser handle will be. It's 68 inches long, 68 and a half actually long, and I'm going to work my way out, and I doubt I'll be able to follow a ring on this, but I'm going to get it down as much as I can with a cabinet scraper, and hopefully there's no tear outs. If there's some tear outs, I'm going to have to take this and put it in the house. Okay, like I said, 9 days ago, this was very heavy. It's light now, and the moisture did come down. So I'm going to find the center, and I'll start scraping with a cabinet scraper. I attempted to use this draw knife a little bit, going light, and it's just so wet. I have a lot of tear outs. So I'm going to rehit this again with the planer, you know, back to square one, get it flat, and I think I'm going to put it in the house to dry. And this is definitely going to have to be backed, because as I tried to follow the grains and it's just it's not going to be a good unbacked bow, this particular tree. Had a big tear out here, and I decided, let me take it down a little closer down to the ring a little bit here, to the center ring. So what I did was I cut a veneer off. I don't think this is going to be a great piece of wood for a bow. And looking at it, it's definitely going to have to be a shorter, sinew-backed bow. If I make a bow out of this at all, it's going to be like a board bow, and it's going to be sinew backed, and I don't really know if it's actually worth the trouble to do this. So I'm going to think about it and give you a little update after I look it over. Let me give you a view of the grain pattern. See that how it goes up and down and dips around? Okay, so you definitely can't make a bow out of this. Here, look at the other side. Okay, the only way I can make a bow out of this is if I cut it like a board and sinew back it. And as far as, if you went to build a board bow, you would look for grain that went straight without runoffs. Okay? Sometimes you have to be smart enough to know when it's not going to work out and it's not going to work out. I took a chance. If you look at the lot where this came from, all these trees are gone. They were ground up. They're wood chips, all right, or carted away. So I thought I could try and make something out of this, but I can't. So, its destiny was already dictated for it, before I took it out of the woods. It wasn't meant to be, and it's not meant to be a bow. And you got to be smart enough to know that it's not worth your trouble. It's not worth spending money on sinew, your time. There's no straight grains. There's no rings to follow. It's just not worth it. So that's the end of this particular, bow, log that I trimmed up into wood. So it's January 16th. It's cold out. We're going to have a wintry mix and terrible weather coming up, for the next week. And I got my Eastern Red Cedar bow out here. And I just want to take a shot or two with these 500 spine legacies, and I want to look down the arrow. And that's great for small game, close aerial targets, all kinds of different things. But if you come back up here like this and just look down the arrow, like you're looking down the barrel of a shotgun, and put the tip right on where you want to hit. And the range varies from like 15 to 10, and every bow arrow combination is a little different. You might have to aim a fist high, a fist low, or whatever, but it'll make you be able to hit these smaller targets like rabbits and stuff a lot better if you can be consistent with it. So I'm going to pick that white spot. There's a million white spots on that bear, but I'm going to pick one. Okay, and I went a little to the right of it. I'm going to try it again. Just going to try looking down the arrow. And the first one I tried went to the right. I'm going to be a little more upright, a little more sturdier. Went just about right there. All right, I'm going to take a little walk in the This is Juniper. Look at the fine needles. This is common arborvitae that you probably have around your house. You'll see them both in the woods. And the juniper, a lot of times the bark looks like it's flaking off, like it's tearing, okay? It's not perfect. All right, there's a difference. Eastern Red Cedar is not a great bow wood, but it makes a beautiful bow. And if you're just starting out, I would choose hickory or some other wood to make a bow out of first. Hickory is my favorite. Okay, it's strong. The grain that interlocks, it makes a beautiful, fast, hard shooting bow. Okay, and as you progress and you want to play around and you want to make something like this here, like a beautiful looking little bow like this Eastern red cedar, you're going to have to really spend a lot of time in the woods to try and find a juniper tree that you'll be able to put all the little branches and knots in your mind in a bow layout. Okay, in a bow layout. You know, you have to walk around the entire tree and say, okay, on this side here, I can make a bow out of this. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of trouble. And I've taken down some trees and brought them back and took the bark off, steamed them, and looked, and it was rot and different things underneath, you know. But if you're patient and take your time, after you're a little more experienced, you could walk around and find some nice wood to make a beautiful bow out of. And a couple of things that I suggest that you do is have a natural back. So when you look at it and you say, okay, I can make a bow out of there, you know, you could use a draw knife, whatever, take down the sides, take it small enough down that you could put it in a steam tube. And it has to be that hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes even, because I was looking for my wood chisel. So it took a little time for me to find the wood chisel. So it was probably about an hour and 20 minutes. And you saw how that bark and cambium peeled off this bow. And look at that pristine back. And then you just draw your design and make the bow from there, okay? And that's the only way I think really to approach it. Because as you see, or you will see, depending on where I put the video on this, that one tree that was going to be ground down, it was going to be taken down. There's nothing in the woodlot. The woodlot's gone. And everything went in the wood chipper. So that tree was destined to be wood chips. So what I did was I took it, brought it home, and I says, I'm going to try and take it down past those gouges and make a bow out of it. But as I'll show you on the video, that the grain, there's no way you could follow that grain. It's not a straight grain. There's no way you could follow it, and it wasn't worth the trouble of getting sinew and trying to back it and hope it don't break. All right, so I still believe that the best way to approach this is find a nice section and steam the bark and cambium off, and start making a bow like that. Okay, so just want to take a little walk in the woods. Got a judo point. Figured I'd see if there's any rabbits out or anything, and it's very cold. We're having bad weather. I found early in the morning and getting towards dusk, if you're going to go rabbit hunting, that's when they come out. So there's several junipers in this area, and I'm just going to show you one that's right in front of me here. It's not the greatest. It's got 1,000,000 limbs. It's got those deep gouges. And you have to look over the entire tree to see if there's a section where you can lay out a bow. The one on the left over here has a real nice straight section, but it's narrow. It's not that thick. Okay, the one next to it is thicker, and if you look and you follow it up, that one's not bad either. You know, those couple of branches coming out, you know, you cut it down and take it home and roll it over and remove some of the bark and see what's underneath, and you may get a bow out of it. Here's a smaller diameter tree that, if you look at it, going all the way up. See if we can see all the way up. You can make a stave out of that. Here's another one with a clear path up. until we get those deep gouges and knots. And that's over 6 foot away. That's over 6 foot. So that's all. Just want to take you in a little patch of a friend's property where there was some cedars and show you how difficult it is to find that perfect piece. You know, and you really never find a perfect piece, you know, but you'll find one that's acceptable. Okay. Okay, we got tung oil today. Look at the tung oil. Minwax tung oil. And we're wiping down that red cedar bow with it. And look how beautiful. Look how beautiful it is. Okay, I have to show you. Look at the rosewood tips with the tung oil. Look how nice the juniper is with the tung oil. Okay. Came out real good. I'm going to wipe it down one more time before I hang it up. I got some like B55 and I make a slip knot. You know how you make a slip knot? And then just a loop and tie it through itself. And I'm going to hang the bow up, the slip knot around the string grooves, and let it dry. But I just wanted to show you outside quick how beautiful it's coming out. And I think the tung oil is going to be a great finish for this bow. Slip knot around the groove, and it's going to hang from here. Okay, here's the Eastern Red Cedar with the first coat of tung oil. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, even look at the tips. Rosewood tips with that tung oil on it. Looks great. I'm going to take several coats to finish this over time. But I'm really happy with it. Okay, when I apply tung oil, I let the wood drink up as much as it wants without having it run over. I just wipe it with a paper towel, and then maybe I'll add a little bit more and a little bit more. There's no excess. I just let it drink up what it can. And then we wait 24 hours, and we're going to give it another coat in 24 hours. Now that the bow is hanging up and has that coat of tung oil on, that's it for the video. All right, so every day you get up, do a little something. Life's short. Make the best of it. Even if it's a little of this and a little of that, and you make a little mixed video like I did. All right, thanks for watching.